89.5, your island, your station.
And a very good afternoon, Phuket. Nick Anthony here in the studio here in Phuket Town on Live 89.5. It's a great Saturday afternoon. The sun's been out, but as you probably just heard in the weather report, there's a big storm coming, so take care on the roads the next few days. I'm a very lucky guy today. I have a guest in the studio with me, and it's Deborah Mirsak. Deborah, welcome back in your second time on the Going Green Show.
Thanks, Nick. It's delightful to be back and really exciting to be part of this show today because it's been an eventful 48 hours, that's for sure. And I know it's going to continue this weekend with all the big clean-up Phuket. Thanks for having me. It's been
indeed a very eventful few days. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Deb came in on the show, must have been 2 months ago.
Yep.
And she's a walker. She gets up in the morning and she gets out, pumps the roads, and she heads up to Bang Wat Dam. Well, Bang Wat Dam is such a wonderful place. It's beautiful. It's up in the mountain. Lovely dam. Lots of people walking around. Lots of people having picnics, and lots of people leaving garbage. So she decided to do something about it. And so with that, she went about talking to the local administration who runs the dam, initiated for Phuket the first Magic Eyes campaign. That's actually first time since about 2001 and 2002. And the results were immediate. Within a week, Bang Wat Dam was clean, bins are in place, signage is working, and everybody loves now to go to Bang Wat Dam.
And the great thing is, still walking the dam daily, what I've found is that the follow-up from that is that other people have taken on board little things like there's a gentleman, he's a lovely, delightful guy, he's from Australia, and he goes up and he's placed his own bin up there, he's put his own plastic bag there, and he removes the rubbish every afternoon when he comes back, and he's part of that movement as well. So it's opened everybody's eyes to saying you can do small things, make a big difference.
So small things collectively add up, and problem solved.
Problem solved.
We, for those that didn't pick up on it during the week, we initiated a start yesterday with the Phuket government of a litter campaign for Phuket, and it was also part of the World Clean Up Australia campaign. That was initiated by Ian Kernan in Australia some 20 odd years ago, and it's now grown into a global movement. And Magic Eyes, which we'll talk more about later, has a Thai campaign to stop littering, which was initiated here in Bangkok originally in the 90s, and then was brought to Phuket in the early 2000s. We've been tackling waste from many different aspects, whether it be recycling, composting. We're looking at obviously this massive litter campaign to help keep our roadsides clean. And with it yesterday was a coordinated cleanup of around 14 beaches, a massive cleanup in Phuket Town initiated by the governor, and indeed small community efforts around Phuket. Well, of course we do have problems, and Phuket has issues of encroachment, of overdevelopment. We are a island that's under siege right now in terms of development. But I'm going to start off this section with a comment from Phuket News' own editor, Alistair Forbes, a couple of weeks ago, and talking about some of the things he said. At times it's easier to frown than smile, complain than praise. But let's not forget how far we've come at the expense of focusing on where we need to be. There's cause to always look on the bright side of life. That pretty much describes you, Deb.
Absolutely, my theme song, Nick.
It is your theme song. So we had a great kick-off yesterday, which we'll come back and talk about in a minute. But before I go into yesterday's cleanup, just taking a quick look at the big picture in terms of what is happening here on Phuket. Our monsoon period is still in full force. This next 5 days will see us lashed with heavy westerly winds, which brings ocean trash to our beaches. And indeed, our island has been amid a litter and trash crisis, with increasing waste volumes now at about 750 tonnes a day. And despite positive change since 2010 on roadside litter, there still is quite a bit to do. The promotion by the government of Phuket Green Island, with the goals of a sustainable, low-carbon island, strengthened this year as local government, private businesses and individuals have indeed worked together to reduce, reuse and recycle. We are facing a capacity a capacity expansion problem with many decades of overexploitation, natural area degradation, and indeed yesterday an announcement from the TAT that they're targeting now over, I think it was 11.5 million tourists, or 13 million tourists. Either way, it was a big number and a big jump for Phuket. We now need to pursue both short and long-term goals to ensure Phuket is sustainable. Working with a group called Atkinson, a local group called SEEK, which we're a part of, has been modelling Phuket sustainability, and that report now is about 1 month away from completion. And indeed, you can go to myseek.org, take a look at lots of information on there, including today's Going Green radio show, the transcript of which, all the links from today's news and information from the Green Clubs. But let's talk briefly about, firstly, the launch yesterday morning at Sapan Hin. What a fantastic start that was.
It was just a joy. We arrived early in the morning. I was lucky enough to accompany Kong Chod Choi Sopanach, who is the original founder of the Magic Eyes organisation, which I'll give a few more details about a little later in the program. And we arrived at this fantastic setting up at Sapan Hin Park. It was a beautiful day. There was a stage was set, children were there, the police force, representatives from all communities, from governing bodies, and we were just welcomed with open arms, and the event was open with a lot of fanfare with our wonderful governor, who was presiding over the movement of this change for Phuket. And Nick and I were both, considering we're the only two non-Thai people there, we were welcomed with open arms and celebrated the beginning of big things for Phuket with getting cleaner and greener.
They really did a great job yesterday. We had, aside from the governor, the mayor of Phuket Town, Mayor Somjai, was there, Kun Kitty from the incinerator. We also were fortunate. We had teams from the Environmental, Health, Energy and Education Ministries, local groups such as PMBC, the Phuket Marine Biological Centre, NevNet represented also with Kun Nui from Kamala, and of course the team from Magic Eyes Bangkok. There was also a clean-up afterward by many of the school kids. There's probably 150 kids that were there. And we were fortunate the storms held off for actually all of yesterday. And so we ended up having a really fantastic day.
And the kids really enjoyed it because we walked around with the governor, with all the local governing bodies. And we, as Nick was leading the way, showed the children how to open their magic eyes, find that rubbish, put that rubbish in bags that are going to be recycled for better use, and make it clean and green. And I was making little plays saying to the children that the birds fly around, they see the plastic, they fly in, they have a big meal of plastic, they get one big bellyache, and then they die. And the children, they realised how sad it was, but they were all reenacting the fact that you must make sure the oceans are safe for our bird life. And they were totally involved and engrossed. It was really fun to watch.
They were great. Stay tuned. We're going to come back and tell you more about yesterday's event. And indeed, if you're itching to do some beach cleaning, you can still catch the last one of the big ones this afternoon at 4 p.m. That'll be taking place down in Coron Beach in front of the Hilton. There's going to be a great crew down there, set up by Kerry from Go Eco and Sub-Aqua Divers. There'll be 40, 50 people. So please do go and give them a hand and help a little bit on Coron Beach this afternoon. Nick Anthony in the studio with Deborah Mirzak. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
The 80s, 90s, noughties and now. It's Phuket's Live 89.5.
Matchbox 20 there with If You're Gone. Welcome back to Going Green, show number 91. I'm in the studio here in Phuket Town with Deborah Mirzak, who's joined me and was part of the celebrations yesterday in the launch of the Phuket Litter campaign called Magic Eyes, and also joined us with the governor and Orbitor Mayor Ann of Cheung Talay. We went to Dusit and really had a fantastic cleanup with some wonderful support. There still are beach cleanups ongoing today, and if you can make it down to Coron at 4 o'clock, then you'll see a great cleanup taking place in front of the Hilton Hotel. This weekend's edition of the Phuket News is a good place to start this next segment, and on page number 6 is an article on dengue fever. Actually, a little bit surprising that the dengue cases on Phuket are actually declining. Now, it's true that this year saw the highest number of people infected with dengue on Phuket in the last 26 years. So we are in a crisis situation on dengue, but the good news is that things are starting to get better. The Health Ministry Health Chief, Dr. Buncha, met with Governor Maitri this week to update him about the dengue fever situation. And the highest rate we have seen in Phuket was 120 new cases a week. That was back in June. However, now it's dropped dramatically back to 30 to 40 cases per week. He's, of course, urged people to take care of themselves, use repellent, and also they've initiated their third 333 campaign, which is initiated by the Health Ministry to counter dengue fever. And one of those efforts has been to dramatically reduce litter and to reduce roadside trash, to clean up local environments, local garbage, and to make Phuket a clean island. Simple reason being plastic bags sit in the drains, water sits in the plastic bags, and that breeds mosquitoes. So simply cleaning up Phuket is one of our easiest ways to initially reduce these dengue fever numbers. Deb, dengue fever is still a problem for Phuket, but the hospitals have now become very proactive on telling people about the risks and telling people about the problems associated with it.
Yes, Nick, and I think it's really important that there is such a service out there for the public, plus the tourists coming into Phuket. I was at the Bangkok Phuket International Hospital yesterday, and I was able to pick up a really, really well-produced dengue hemorrhagic fever brochure that had been put out by the Phuket Provincial Health Office. It gives you all the information that you need about the prevention, warning signs, the managing at home, what to do for your children, for yourselves, and it's free. So if you are concerned about this, pop into your Bangkok International Hospital, and it's there for your taking. And it's a very good thing to have at home for your visitors as well.
Very good. Litter, as one of these key aspects of the reduction in dengue fever, is something that lies at the heart of this new campaign, the Magic Eyes campaign. Maybe would you talk a little bit about that, and perhaps you can introduce the program and talk a little bit about the trash problem that exists here on Phuket.
Yeah, for sure. Magic Eyes campaign was started as Nick said, in the late 80s, early 90s by a lady called Kung Chod Choi Sopanech. And she was the daughter of the Bangkok Bank, the founder of the Bangkok Bank in Thailand. She went to Australia and did her schooling there and a university life there, and she raised a family. And Australia being very green and clean and environmentally aware, her children were raised to respect the environment and hopefully respect themselves. She came back to Bangkok when the children were in their latest stage, about 12 or 13, and she was appalled by the amount of rubbish that she saw on the streets of Bangkok. She went out one day with her kids to the park, and the kids were throwing rubbish around after their lunch, and she immediately stopped and said, "Please go and pick that up. What are you doing?" They said to her, "Doesn't matter, Mum, everybody else is doing it." She was horrified, and as a responsible parent, she decided that action needed to be taken, and she took it on board to gather a lot of friends of hers, socially and in the business environment, and she formed this campaign called the Magic Eyes campaign, which was basically based on the mystical side of the Thai culture, where if you drop rubbish, magic eyes on these big signs with these big black eyes would watch you, and then you'd shrink. And the only way to gain back your size was to put the rubbish in the bin. So through a lot of different medias, she was able to promote this awareness campaign, and it cleaned up Bangkok in 6 months by 97%. It went on that it encompassed all the regions, different regions, and lots of different people in the community, children, local villages, hospitals, many, and factories and shopping centres, and they were all on the same page about let's respect our environment, let's not trash it, let's clean it up, and let's be responsible.
Been fantastic. And the impact, as you were talking about before in Bang Wat Dam, is immediate.
It is immediate. Yeah.
And indeed, yesterday, seeing the Magic Eye signs down there in Sapan Hin was really great. Yeah. And the response from the kids has been amazing. Just overall, it's a really good feel factor campaign.
Well, it's fun, and the thing is, what's Kung Chod Choi, who's now become in partnership with SEEK in the initiative of the Big Clean Up the World this weekend, she's supporting us, and she wants to get into the education side of it all, because that's where it's all got to start, which is my passion as a teacher, that we get in there with the kids, you make it fun, you make it interactive, and you give the children ownership of saying, right, I'm a member of this community. I want to take care of my home, which is the bigger thing, is their island.
Indeed, it does start at home. Later in the show, we'll be talking about another article that's in this weekend's edition of the Phuket News, written by Kun Nok of Sikh, called The Environment Starts at Home, talking about waste minimisation, sustainable consumption, energy efficiency, and looking after your own area. You were talking earlier about a British campaign about love your local area. That was kind of very similar to what we're promoting here on Phuket.
Well, I think this is sort of, as a local resident of Phuket, I was trying to do something. I wanted to give back something. Trying to give back something to the community. And I was reading on the internet saying, what can I do? What other organisations have had success in their country? And I knew the situation is why people litter. And the first one was people have no sense of ownership. The second one was litter will be thrown where it's already accumulated. And the third thing is people perceive that it's somebody else's responsibility to pick it up. And when I read this, I thought, hey, that ticks every box. Wherever I go, there are paid employees to clean up things. There's McDonald's, there's KFC. You leave all your rubbish on the table, kids get up, they walk away, and somebody else is paid to clean it all up. So we're actually getting now, my humble opinion, a generation of kids who I call the cats, consume and toss. They're either consuming and tossing in the restaurants, the fast food restaurants, or they're consuming and tossing when they're driving on their motorcycles. And there's this lack of respect for, okay, it's not my problem, it's somebody else's problem. Now, the UK actually had the same problem many, many years ago. And they came up with a campaign which I really sort of felt warmth towards, where it was love where you live. Because I love where I live. And I think most of us on this island love where we live. But it's no good just saying, I love living in Phuket. You've got to go a little bit further. And what they decided was that we're proud of where we live and we want to see it looking its best. The Love Where You Live campaign was about finding positive ways to improve the environment that we live and work and play in. It was too important for somebody else to take on that responsibility. Where we live needs a lot of TLC. So the supporters of Love Where You Live campaign signed these 6 key principles, and I feel that Sikh and the Governor and Magic Eyes are all sort of adhering to these new principles for Phuket. Firstly, encourage personal responsibility and positive action. That's the key to it all. Kum Chod Chai is actually getting involved with the Scouts organisation, which is established in every school, and giving those kids a focus, activities that they have to do once a week, and also to develop their ability to be green ambassadors, kids getting out in their local communities saying, this is what we know, this is what we have to do, this is how we're going to improve the situation, and passing all that information on to their parents and the local people in their own communities. The second one, work in partnership with your neighbours to reduce litter. Hey, we just saw it yesterday. So many people are so excited about being part of this movement. We don't want any rewards. All we want to do is saying, we can do this and look at the results. And we're supporting the government as well. The third one, taking responsibility for keeping your own area clean. It's like home. If you don't expect your children to clean up after themselves, what's going to happen? They'll leave their bedrooms in a mess. They'll keep all their stuff everywhere. You actually have to model the behaviour that you want to continue. So get your kids to be responsible. Raise awareness and education about the prevention of littering. And that's a huge campaign at the moment. Make it easy for people not to drop litter. You have to think about that. That's a really important thing. And become an ambassador for green, clean places throughout Phuket. Lots of ambassadors are out there, and a huge thanks to you all. You've got all the beach clubs, you've got different schools, the international schools, the local schools. We've got an environmental an NGO group with the local Thai people. We've got lots and lots of great activities and great things being happening in our community by lots of people. We've just got to share all our great practices.
Well done, Deb. That's fantastic. And a very good afternoon, and welcome back to the Going Green Show. We're on show number 91. And I'm just going to go live now with John Covello from DMG, who's on the phone. And DMG and World Construction did have a fantastic cleanup yesterday in a very tricky little place in Tree Trang Beach. Hi, John, you there?
Hi, Nick. Yes. How are you?
Hey, buddy. Doing well, mate. Thank you. We're going to start off. We've got a few beaches to talk to this afternoon to get some updates on how the cleanups went. And yours is a little bit unusual. It's sort of tucked away out of on the south end of Patong in an area that most people don't get to or don't see. And, of course, gets pretty neglected. So I'm sure the team had a pretty tough time yesterday. Tell us, how was it out there, and what sort of things did you collect, and what sort of problem spots did you find?
Well, there was definitely a lot more trash than we expected. We collected 21 bags of trash in all, and it weighed about 124 kilograms. So, not small. There wasn't any real big problems, per se. It went pretty smoothly. We had a lot of great cooperation. We had about 30 people there between our staff and World Construction, our staff being a development management group, DMG. The thing we found, which probably really isn't a big surprise, is there were a lot of plastic bottles, glass bottles as well, and then there was a lot of the styrofoam food containers. There were many of those on the beach.
The food containers actually coming from Tree Trang, given the winds coming from the southwest, indicating they're not coming from perhaps the town so much, but actually coming in out of the ocean.
Yeah, I would believe maybe just caught it from a boat, or there's a couple of hotels and residence areas near this beach, so maybe they drifted from over there.
Was there a lot of netting, fishing, rope, that sort of stuff?
There was fishing as well. There was one buoy actually that was found, as well as some fishing nets, and a bunch of rope.
Very good, very good. We had a similar experience across most of the beaches yesterday. We had one actually very nice experience yesterday in the north end of Lian Beach, where we were supported by the Head Start QSI school, and about 30, 40 kids came down with the teachers, and they did a clean-up for an hour or so, collected 22 bags of trash. Somewhat surprisingly, 14 of those bags of trash we were able to use for an art project, so fully recycled. Another 2 bags were specifically for recycling glass and plastic water bottles, and a very small number of bags left over for actually throwing to the garbage. So of all of our cleanup teams, so far with the information, and there's a lot of information coming in, I was really most impressed with the way that the kids handled this yesterday. It takes some time to get the programs going, to record the data, and then to publish that data. And we really appreciate your and the team's efforts to tackle what is a tricky little beach down there. And let's keep that momentum going and see if we can do it again before the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. We were glad to help, and we will certainly do so again if the opportunity arises. That's
great. Thanks very much, John Covello there from DMG. DMG's been on the Going Green show a number of times with their team members. They're involved with all sorts of accreditation on building, sustainable building programs, solar, energy, waste, etc. John, I know you guys are doing a great job out there for the environment and trying to change building habits.
Yes, that is our focus. We are definitely interested in green buildings.
Well done. Thanks again. Thanks, John. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you very much, Nick.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye.
There we are, John Covello there from DMG. Going back to the kids yesterday, Deborah, what an amazing job those little kids did. They had everything bagged and tagged, and they're all standing around like mother hen. Okay, this is for recycling. This one is for the art project, and they really got it. And we then did the cleanup in Bang Tao, where we were fortunate. We had about 50 people from Dusit with the governor and the Chengtele Orbitor. That was a little bit different. We actually collected everything, brought it back to one central location, dumped all of those. I don't know how many bags of trash there was yesterday, 30 bags or something, was it? At least. And that was some different numbers. Just to give you a few figures there from that particular cleanup. 1,800 big plastic bags. Some astounding stuff. 150 glass beverage bottles, 150 plastic bottles, 90 shoes.
I know, the thongs. I couldn't believe the size. I should say flip-flops. The size of the pile of flip-flops was outstanding. I could not believe. I thought, doesn't anybody miss their shoe? I didn't get it, but they're all floating in the ocean.
Now, the shoes that were collected yesterday, specifically from the cleanup with the kids and also on Bangtao, etc., all go to Kungan from Greenfins. And Kungan actually takes those flip-flops, puts them through almost like a mulching machine, and then she puts them into trays and sets like a rubber square, which go under kids' swings.
Yeah.
So if a kid falls off a swing, smacks his head, no problems.
Yeah.
And so with the Head Start stuff from yesterday, actually we collected those shoes, we'll give it to Kungan, who'll make a couple of squares out of it, and we donate it back to the school.
And there's your perfect example of recyclable. How great is that? The kids find it, they recycle it, and then they get to use it on their playground. Fantastic.
They really are. They really are great. Deb, what was your perception from yesterday's cleanup in Bangtao? Do you think it was looking clean?
Well, I've taken lots of photos, so if any of the listeners would like to have a look, I've sent them all to Nick, and they will go on to the Bangtao Green Club Beach Cleanup website, and there's a real lovely before and after. It's a beautiful spot. It really is lovely. It looked amazing after we had done all the cleanup with the help of so many people. Even what I loved was when we actually had all the bags of rubbish there, and the governor was going in the water himself, even in his shoes, and picking up the rubbish. And he was, and same as the Orbital from Churntulay, very excited about what was happening, very involved, looking at the problem, working out solutions, congratulating all the volunteers, and they just want to make it like this as part of the sustainability program for Phuket in the very, very long term. And this is what's really, really exciting about this thing at the moment, is that this is not just a one-off for Clean Up the World weekend. This is not just something we've just done to put an article in the newspaper. This is actually the way Phuket is going to be sustained in the long term. And I know I spoke to Kung Chodchai and a lot of the people involved in this cleanup this weekend, and obviously with Nick's a big seal of approval, that it is ongoing. It's educating the public, it's educating the tourists. All the people there yesterday were really excited. There was the staff from the hotels, there were just the local people that live in the area, and everybody just said, isn't this a great feeling? Collectiveness, this helpfulness, this sharing and cooperating. It was a brilliant afternoon.
It was a great one. Now I'm just going to get Sally Harper on the line, and Sally and her team were up in Nayang Beach, where they also had a great group and a big turnout. I think they had something like 60 or 70 kids. So we'll get Sal on the phone in just 1 second. Deb, where to from here for this litter campaign?
Well, the main thing is we've got to get it into the schools. Kung Chodchai is working. She was at meetings yesterday with all the schools, the heads of schools, the head of the Scouts Association. She's looking at bringing programs into the schools via fun things, which is, as us teachers know, is really, really important to get kids involved with plays, with songs, with lots of cartoons, with reading books, with different types of resources that are going to be implemented into our local Thai schools. A lot of great stuff is already happening in our international schools. I've been invited on Tuesday, very luckily, to be invited down to the Phuket Has Been Good to Us Foundation School in Kamala, as they have said that I've put out quite a few different types of resources for teachers out there, and they were impressed and said, look, can you come down, work with us and see how we can get our kids on board as well. So I've got to say to Chod Choi, let's work together, get all this wonderful programs that you've got in Bangkok, let's get it all into the schools, let's get the Scouts involved, and it's just fantastic. So it's all going to be happening, it's all bubbling along.
Well done. Well, on the line I've got Sally Harper, who was involved and set up the Nayang Green Club and Nayang Cleanup yesterday. Hi Sally, how are you?
Great, thanks.
Great. Tell me, how was yesterday? I did have the pleasure of popping in and saying hi, and you had an amazing turnout.
Yeah, we had a great turnout yesterday. Thanks for the support of Dewa Hotel, and one of the local schools came as well, which boosted the numbers significantly. Yeah, we got a load of the beach cleaned up because it was an absolute mess, actually. because of the storms recently.
It was seriously bad. I must say, after looking at that Bank Tower yesterday and some of the other beaches, I think you copped about the worst that I'd seen.
I think the problem too is in Nanyang with the national park, all the restaurants and bars look after their area out the front, but no one really takes care of the national park. So yesterday we concentrated mainly on cleaning up the national park area.
Great. I saw, in particular, it seems like a lot of fishing trash yesterday, a lot of rope, a lot of polystyrene.
Yeah, yesterday mainly actually it was flip-flops, shoes, string and bottle tops actually, and lighters. That was our biggest pull-in yesterday of trash.
It's unusual. These trash amounts change so much on a regular basis. Some days you go down there and it's real fishing fleet stuff, and then other days you go down there and it's plastic bag central.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the flip-flops before, and what we're planning on turning these flip-flops into, being the padded mats for school playgrounds.
Yeah, great idea.
It's a nice way to show the kids what they can do with it. Tell me, how are you doing up there at Gecko? You've got a new school in Talang. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's going really well.
How many kids you've got?
We're up to 12 now.
Very good.
We've only been open 4 weeks, so we're very happy with that. And Fridays for us is Community Day. We're out there actually in the community. So yesterday was fantastic. There was beach cleanup because we went and looked at a lot of the erosion as well in Nanyang. Very sad at the moment actually, especially after that big storm. A lot of those trees on the beach are falling down. Massive problems. So it was great for the kids to see what was happening and how the sand's changing and how everything's moving and how everything's affected. And we want the kids to actually go out there and take action, like see what's happening and be a part of the community.
We've seen heavy erosion this year in particular, perhaps more so than any other year, certainly than I can remember, with walls being pulled down in the case of Nanyang, and probably a dozen or maybe more large casuarina trees have fallen into the ocean.
Absolutely, and actually we were down there yesterday, and my partner Hugh, who's a teacher at Gecko as well, he was pointing out to the kids, well, this one looks like it's going to fall, and we went for a walk down the beach this morning and it was down, and it had taken down actually 2 other trees with it. So I'm not quite sure what the answer is to the problem, but the clong there keeps changing its course as well, which is obviously taking away more of the national park.
Yeah, that's a big issue, and of course as you lose those trees, then you lose the erosion barriers, and the ocean will in fact come in even further.
That's right. I was actually thinking it's not going to be too long until it's actually going to be up to that road in the national park and it'll be gone.
Well, great effort yesterday, Sally. Thanks again for organising Nanyang. I know it's a tough area, and with Dewa, we really appreciate your efforts on behalf of Phuket, and we look forward to working with you with the Nanyang Green Club.
Okay, great.
Actually, Sally, just before you go, your Facebook is Green Nanyang Group, correct?
Yes, correct.
So if you're listening, go to Green Nanyang Group on Facebook, and you can, I'm sure, check out this week the photos from yesterday's cleanup.
Great.
Thanks.
Can I just say
Please.
Thank you to Deborah. One of my students last year actually interviewed Deborah, Mickey Young, and from interviewing her, went down the beach, got driftwood, made her own Magic Eyes signs, and this week we actually, with help of Daya again, we got them erected in Nanyang National Park, so they're proudly standing there now.
And that's thanks a lot, Sally. And I was just thinking very fondly of Micah when you were talking, because I actually recently sent her a YouTube clip from David Suzuki, the very famous environmentalist. His daughter actually held court at the UN many years ago, and she spoke as an 11-year-old about you grown-ups have got to start taking responsibility for our environment, because you say to us kids, everything's going to be okay. It'll be fine. And she said, you know what? It ain't fine. And it was just this fabulous 5-minute thing. And I sent it to Micah, and she replied to me, and she said, wow, Deborah, that's what Sally said. You just have to just keep trying. And I said, the littlest people have the largest footprints. Keep up the great work. And, for all the teachers and all the parents and all the grown-ups out there, listen to your kids, give them a voice, get them involved, because they can work miracles. Thanks so much for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, Sal. Thanks for yesterday. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Indeed, Mika Young, the amazing little kid, 11 years old, 2 signs donated. She donated a bunch of signs to the Nanyang National Park. We had, fortunately, one of the signs at the governor's office last Monday, which was donated to the governor and will go up in his grounds, probably up already. And the other two handmade signs were used up in the Mike Our Turtle Fun Run last Sunday. Got fantastic publicity, and you can see pictures of that on page 7 into this weekend's Phuket News. And welcome back to the Going Green Show. This is show number 91, and we've been talking to various people about the green clubs and the beach cleaning program from yesterday and today. And I'm going to pop on the phone for you now, Natalie, who's the resident manager from the Doosa. Just hold for 1 second, and we'll get Nat on the line. Hi, Nat. Can you hear me?
Hi, Nick.
Hi there. Nice to have you on. Welcome to the Going Green Show. I'm here in the studio with Deborah.
Thanks, Nick. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Nat.
What a fantastic day yesterday. We were lucky with the weather. It held, and you had a great turnout there in the middle of Bangtao Beach.
We were really lucky. We had great volunteers in the middle. We'd actually divided up Bangtao Beach into 3 sections because it's about 6 kilometres in length, as you know. So I had the support of Claudine, who was up towards the Layan end, and Cookie in the south, and us in the middle. And we were very lucky to have about 40 volunteers in the middle. And I know that from talking to Claudine, she had about 120 volunteers with the school, the Kirisai school, which you mentioned earlier. And we picked up lots of rubbish, and then you helped us to sort it out. And we also had the wonderful governor in our company, and Alberto Chantelet was there as well.
You had an all-star team. We even had the governor picking up trash.
In his shoes.
We were very fortunate.
Tell me, Nat, you've got a campaign now on Bangtao and a Green Club. What are the details for the Green Club, and tell us a little bit about the sort of members you've now got joining your group?
Yeah, look, we're still in our infancy when you compare it to, say, Kamala, but we started this in the middle of the year, and so probably 3.5 months into it. But we're really lucky because Laguna is got a huge representation of employees in the various hotels, and we also have a lot of residents as well who live out and about, and we've seen sort of a cross-interest from employees, local businesses along the beach. Yesterday, the Lotus restaurant, which is quite famous on Bangtao, was represented with their team, and we also had some residents, and we actually had a hotel guest as well. So we have a broad spectrum of people, and the next step will be to take it to the local community. So we would like to see our Bangtao Green Club information in Thai as well, and I think Claudine and I are working on that, so that we can communicate with ease to both the locals, Thai and Farang.
Very good. You've got a strong CSR program within Doosit, and recently received an accolade for your green practices. Are you finding now that's really sort of coming full circle within the employees and the staff and the teams, and they're starting to get a green heart? They feel like they've got a green heart?
Definitely, and you mentioned the accolade. We are the second property in Phuket to achieve the silver status with EarthCheck, and that's the body that's actually checking on us to make sure that we uphold this ethos in our working and reduce the imprint that we leave on our environment as a business unit. So we have 5 years to go living like this until we reach gold. So I'm pleased to say that the staff here already had it in their thinking, because we joined Green Leaf, which was the Thai program, and now we have this global campaign of EarthCheck. Many travellers nowadays are looking for properties to stay at that have a commitment to the environment. They almost need that tick of approval when they make their trip choice. So it's really important that we live it in our working environment, and then also when we go home, and the staff are thinking about that a lot now.
And we actually noticed yesterday, didn't we, Nat, that when there was a group of your hotel guests walked past us as we were madly recycling through the garbage, they were really excited about seeing your hotel representing what they want for a holiday, a clean beach, responsible hotel managers, and they gave us like the thumbs up saying, well done.
Yes, that's right. True, Deb. And today I put a call through to Mayan at Orbital Chantelet and thanked him for his support, and his immediate response was, see you next time, Matt. He was really also gave us the thumbs up and is fully committed to giving us that ongoing support. So I'm sure that if we have any literature to get out to the people and education into his schools and in Chantelet, I think he'll be a big backer of that now as well.
Wonderful news, yeah.
Did you let him know there's a storm brewing and we have to go back and do it again on Tuesday and Wednesday?
That's right. I mean, we have to do it more often. And look, we've as you know, we have beach cleaners to designated areas on Bang Tao, and Claudine and I in the Bang Tao Green Group are looking to do the similar exercise in Kamala to expand that and actually look at permanent beach cleaners, and that would be something that would be managed through Orbital Chantelet. So that's our next little target with them, to see if we can implement that, support it financially through some of the business units here, and then have it managed by Orbital.
Fantastic. Well done, Nat. Great effort to you and the Bang Tao Green Club. And let's keep it green, and we'll see you on the beach.
Great. Well, thanks for coming down and supporting us. Thanks, Deb. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Nat.
Bye, Nat. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Natalie, the resident manager there at the Dusit in Laguna. And a great turnout yesterday by the Bang Tao guys. Cookie in the south, as you said, working with the lifeguards and some of the local hotels. Cookie from Tropical Properties in Kamala. And also Claudine, who's been setting up the Facebook page, and she's been yesterday up in the North End in Layan, and they're supported by Head Start. Trisara very positively sent 40 people that were going to go up to Nighton Beach, but Nighton was looking pretty good. We'll talk to Nick Franklin in a bit. And they came down to Layan and supported Phuket Pavilions and other good hotels in trying to make Bang Tao Beach a clean and green area. How about that? All positive stuff. Stay tuned.
Phuket's Live 89.5.
And a very good afternoon, Phuket. Nick Anthony here, back on Going Green, show number 91. And I'm in the studio with Deborah Miersak, and we've been talking about yesterday and today's beach cleaning efforts. And on the line, I've got Charlie from the Kamala Green Club. Charlie, welcome.
Hi, welcome.
Hello, mate. Well, I just heard you had an amazing day yesterday.
Yeah, it was many people just joining in. Actually, there were more than 160 people only at Kamala Beach, including these people from Tesco Lotus, about more than 30 people of them, but all the businesses, especially also many locals, joined in, so it was a huge success.
That's fantastic. Tell me, you've now, with the Kamala Green Club, your Facebook campaign doing extremely well. That's Kamala Green Club on Facebook. And you've got over 150 members, I think, now on Facebook, which is a really fantastic effort. Did you, and also, unusually, Kamala is the first place on the island to get full-time beach cleaners. Did you find yesterday, even though now you've got full-time beach cleaners, there wasn't much to be done, or was it pretty dirty?
So, as we had a heavy storm just the day before, there was a lot of work to do also, honestly. So the permanent beach cleaners, these two ladies, they are doing a very good job. Everybody is happy, but they are just two. So even our beach is about 1.5 kilometers long. There is a lot of work for only two girls if we have a really, really strong storm at night and they up in the morning. So it's just too much for them. So it's still good to keep on our scheduled cleanups and also events like yesterday where we make a massive cleanup for the whole beach.
Oh, Charlie, hi. Deborah here. Nice to speak to you.
Hi.
Hi. I just let you know that at the opening of the Magic Eyes launch yesterday at Sappenhin Park, your cleaning lady from Kamala Beach was Kungnui was there, and I hadn't met her, and she came up to myself and Kung Chocho, and we're staying there with the Magic Eye big puppet guys, and she was so proud to be part of the whole launch, and she sort of introduced herself to me, and she said, I clean cleaner of the beach at Kamala with a big smile on her face. And I went, oh, dear Mark, nice to meet you. And she had the biggest smile on her face. So she's very proud to be part of your group, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we are also very happy to get these NetNet volunteer network in our boat. Otherwise, it should be very hard, especially to handle all these recycling stations. So it's not enough to just put them in place and then forget them.
Yeah.
So you need maintenance, you need somebody who's looking after, take out the plastic bottles and all these things.
Charlie, yesterday, did you see mostly household waste, fishing fleet waste? What was the principal stuff you were seeing?
Hard to say. So a mix of everything. So a lot of polystyrene, unfortunately, again. Plastic bottles, fishing fleets. But it's hard to say what was the most. So it was a huge mix, I think after every storm, there are a lot of trash coming into the beaches.
We've just been talking, there's a big storm warning again the next 3 or 4 days. So unfortunately, after our wonderful efforts yesterday to clean all the beaches, I think within the next 3 to 4 days it's going to be ready to do again.
Yeah, so I was talking yesterday to some people, just kidding a little bit, so we should do this now every week. But anyway, so I think we are on a very good way, and everybody was happy, and I only get very good feedback, also from the people after the cleanup, and I would invite everybody to just have a look at our Facebook page. So there are some pictures, and you can become a fan and become a part of this campaign.
And for the people who don't know, maybe you're a little bit unaware still of the type of awareness that has been raised through the green clubs on the island. Can you just tell them that there's no fee to join? You don't have to be committed to something. Some people at times are a bit hesitant to join activities if they think, well, we don't want to have to be, expected to turn up all the time. They can just drop in, support you, come and do a one-up clean-up if that's all they want to do. But there is no restrictions.
All the scheduled cleanups are published on the Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com/Kamala Green Club, one word. You just can become a fan there, or just click there, and all the scheduled cleanups are published there. So every helping hand is always highly appreciated. So everybody can join. So there's no strict rules, so it's only allowed for these businesses. No, we are happy to get support.
That's great, thanks.
Charlie, you in Kamala are leading the way right now on the green clubs and really changing your community. One of the big drivers of that has been these 10 recycling stations you've got around the community, and also plans now for the Magic Eyes litter campaign. The campaign certainly has had a dramatic difference in your community. I must say, congratulations, it's really looking very clean.
Yeah, so, the good thing also is, as I'm running also a small guest house here in Kamala Beach, and I got a lot of complaints the last years, especially during low season, about trash on the beach. So is there nothing to do and things like this? And for this year, I just get compliments. So we went to other beaches on Phuket Island, but Kamala Beach looking quite good. So is the currency different here? The people asking me these questions, and said, no, we are just trying to do a little bit more than other beaches in the island. But but as I can see, there are many other clean clubs follow our example. So I hope that in the next years or months, there will be at every beach on the west coast of Phuket, there will be a green club.
Very good, Charlie there from Papa Crab down there in Kamala. So if you need a wonderful boutique guest house, that's the one for you to stay in. Thanks very much, Charlie. We really appreciate your efforts.
Thank you for calling, and keep Phuket Island green and clean.
Green and clean. And just on that note, I'll give also another big thanks to Tesco for supporting water bags and gloves yesterday, and also for Hero, which is a large packaging company out of Bangkok that also donated bags. So that's great support from those guys, and nice to see Tesco coming down to the Kamala Green Club yesterday.
I guess there were more than 30 people just from Tesco, so they were donating, as you said, water and rubbish bags and clothes, and they were showing up with more than 30 people from Tesco locals from different branches.
Tesco now calling themselves the greenest retailer in Thailand, so quite a transformation in businesses we're seeing as well as communities.
Sorry, I just have a problem here. Understand you? Can you repeat?
No problem. Just saying that with Tesco, nice to see them changing their business as well as we're seeing the change in the local communities, and of course that all comes together. In Kamala, we're looking at a few different pilot projects on curbside recycling, on recycling with retailers, sustainability programs with retailers, and indeed, as you are doing with the sticker campaign, getting into the local community and changing restaurants and bars and small shops to reduce plastic and to start thinking differently about how they can do green business.
Yeah, of course. So we started with the big businesses. That means all these huge five-star hotels, and now we will try to get involved also smaller businesses. So we are all part of Kamala, not only the top 5 or the top 10s. Try to get everybody on the boat for a greener Kamala.
That's great. Excellent. Thanks, Charlie. Charlie Herget there from Papa Crab Guest House down there in Kamala Beach. Thanks again, Charlie.
Thank you for calling.
Cheers, buddy. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, fantastic. There we are. Kamala, there 160 people. What an amazing effort, Deb.
Oh, fantastic. And to think that a business like Tesco is actually being representative as part of this community change in attitude. And I'm going to make sure that when I go to Tesco down there, I'm going to go in and say, well done, everybody. I heard that you had a great team go down and support. And it's always nice to get a compliment for a job well done. So anybody who's going down to Kamala, go in and say, well done, D-Muck Mark.
Stay tuned. Nick Anthony here with Deborah Miersak. We're talking about the beach cleanups. We've been talking about the beach cleanups, and actually we're going to do our last interview of the day. We've got Nick Franklin on the phone from CBRE, who's the coordinator for the Night On Green Club. Nick, hello, mate.
Hi, Nick. Yeah, lovely to speak to you today.
Indeed, buddy. I'm here with Deborah.
Hi, Nick.
Hiya.
How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Great.
Tell us about your amazing day yesterday. I heard you had to do a bit of extra work.
All right, well, we had about 100 people lined up to come to our beach clean, but we redeployed some of them to spread the effort around. We were very pleased, actually, that a lot of the beach is very clean at Night On at the moment, because I think the local restaurants are trying hard to keep the area outside their restaurant clean, which is a huge benefit. So the two extreme ends of the beach needed the most attention. But in the space of an hour and a half or so, we did a big clean up, and it looked really good afterwards. Very good.
Well done, mate. Tell me, what sort of things did you find yesterday? Was it mostly household, fishing fleet?
Yeah, general garbage, less of the sort of beach garbage, drink bottles and sort of things that we found before. Only a couple of lighters, but the broken up polystyrene from fishing floats, odd flip-flops and bits and pieces, but mostly just general rubbish. Not obviously the fishing rubbish this time. So not a big problem actually.
Polystyrene is something that all of the green clubs found in yesterday's cleanup, and a continuing problem. So we'll use this opportunity to continue to push for a ban on polystyrene products on Phuket, which we've discussed with both Tesco and 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing, because it's broken up into very, very small pieces often, and it makes it very difficult to pick it up. It's pretty backbreaking to keep stooping down and picking it up. So if we could get rid of that, that really would be wonderful. I noticed there's a water outfall along that beach that was blocked up, and there was a lot of garbage in that, so that would have all washed out into the water if it hadn't been blocked by trees and things. So there's a few things that need following up, just to make sure the beach stays nice and clean. But yeah, it was good. We had a good fun day out, and it was nice to see it, people taking part and joining in. It was great.
Very good. Which group supported you yesterday? Which hotels and which of the local community groups?
So we had the Pullman Hotel had about 40 people turn out. Pearl of Night, which is the property that CBRE manage, all the staff from our team came out. My wife, she's sitting with me now. She's just putting her hand up. She was there. That's Val. She was out.
Well done.
Breaking her back with her black bag. What was nice, and then there were some other people who just sort of joined in. We had a big team from Trisara, but they went down to the national park to help out there. And we had some people from the little villa hotel that is on the beach there who came, and from Vista Del Mar. Their whole staff of 3 people came down to join us, which was great.
Sweet.
What was good was a few people joined in while they saw us down there and grabbed bags and things, and that was very nice. Really good.
Well done, buddy. Well done. We did great. Congratulations in getting Night On Green Club up and running. People can check that out on Facebook, Night On and Green Club.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
Well done.
Have a great show.
Thanks, pal. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. There we go. Another one down. Great result. Fabulous turnout. Local communities, businesses, hotels, they're all getting into it.
Fabulous. And just, it's attracting other people to become enthusiastic about the same campaign. And just what I was thinking, I was madly writing notes there, listening to the people you've just interviewed, Nick, was the common denominator of all of this seems to be that when you've got committed people who want to make a difference, it happens. What I thought was quite interesting is that the Clean Up the World weekend, which this is happening this weekend through Seek and Magic Eyes campaign, it's actually the International Year of Cooperativeness. And I just think, isn't this the key theme to all these conversations, that you've got the small hotels, you've got the local people, you've got the local Tasman, you've got the governor, everybody volunteering to help share the problem, take care, show responsibility towards their environment, big improvements immediately being made, and just organisations all working together and agencies to make health and well-being of our planet and the people a priority. It's the year of our place, our planet, our responsibility. And let's hope it's just going to continue to grow and get stronger and stronger for a cleaner, greener Phuket.
Well done. Thanks, Deb, for joining us in the studio today. It's been a pleasure having you here and talking to our green clubs, hearing the good news around the island. Again, congratulations to all those that have been involved in the cleanup. This is not a one-day campaign. This is an ongoing campaign. Beach cleaning, roadside cleaning, litter campaign, curbside recycling coming, initiation of commercial composting coming. We are talking to all sorts of recycling companies to continue to increase the amount of stuff that can be recycled here on Phuket, better awareness for things like where to take your batteries, where to take hazardous waste, how to recycle your e-waste, to be computers, mobile phones, stuff like that. All has to be separated. And over the next 6 months, you're going to hear a lot of news, both through the station and in the press, about renewed efforts to reduce waste on Phuket. We currently have 750 tonnes and would love to be like Scotland with a zero waste target. That would be great, Deb.
Wouldn't that be great? And for anybody who wants to know what to say for the rest of the next week, ya ting kaya, which means please don't throw rubbish. Thanks for having me, Nick.
Well done. Thanks, Deb. Stay tuned. I'll be back with a quick wrap on international news. We're almost out of time today, but it's been a fantastic show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned.
Live 89.5, your island, your station. Feel good.
Well, this was the Going Green show number 91, and we had Deborah Miesak in the studio. Deborah has been reintroducing the Magic Eyes campaign as part of a government-led initiative to reduce dengue fever and to make our island healthier, greener and cleaner. And it's getting some fantastic support, as you've heard this afternoon. Now, I had lots of other news to tell you on an international size, but I'm absolutely out of time, so I'm going to give you just a quick couple of headlines on what happened around the world. There was a new a phone launched this week, which was quite interesting. As of course, BlackBerry's iPhone's fantastic, but a lot of the issue there is the cost to the environment. So there's been a new phone that's been funded through crowdfunding, and indeed it's sold 15,000 units already ordered. They're selling at €300. They're relatively expensive, and indeed they are ensuring that there's a traceable supply chain for its tin, tungsten, and tantalum components. Most electronics get these minerals from army-controlled mines in the volatile Democratic Republic of Congo. Fairphone, as it's called, is also working on sourcing fairly mined cobalt and fair trade certified gold for other components. Great news. In recycling news, Wales has announced that now more than 50% of its rubbish is recycled. It has and will meet its first annual waste target by recycling more than 50% of its rubbish in its first year. In fact, it looks like it's going to get 52% recycling rate. Amazing. Scotland's most recent figures show that local authorities recycle and composted 38% of its municipal waste in 2010-2011. Recycling rates have now improved, and the speed of the increase has slowed down a little bit. Their aim is 70% by 2025, and their target is zero waste. Northern Ireland aims to recycle 40% by 2015, and they currently are running at about 38%. So well done there to the UK, to Scotland, and Wales and Ireland. In other news, we saw only one group of dolphins killed in Taiji this week. They were pilot whales. It's been stormy up in Japan, so fortunately not much in the way of dolphin hunting going on. Dr. Seuss children books coming out in the next 3 days, actually, on September the 24th. You'll be able to go on and get an ebook. The Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, Oh, the Places You'll Go, which is a wonderful read. The Lorax, which is a book that every single kid should read. And one of my favorites, One Fish, Two Fish, a Red Fish, a Blue Fish. You can get those on ebooks coming up in 3 days. And lastly, just an update here on the Xayaburi Dam, the 1,200 megawatt dam, which is 150 kilometers below Luang Prabang, mainly for export of power to Thailand, is now 13% complete and on track for completion in 2019. According to the Lao Minister of Energy and Mines, the dam is apparently eco-friendly enough. I guess I'll leave it at that. People out there, be aware. Think about your actions. Refuse single-use plastic bags, straws, and polystyrene. Reduce your waste. Reduce energy use. Reuse what you can, including composting, and recycle as much of what's left as possible. Be responsible to Phuket and be responsible to our planet. And lastly, get involved and tell people about these events. Communicate, get on the beaches, join these Facebook programs. Give these guys on the West Coast some real support. If you're in Bangtao, join the Green Club. If you're in Nai Yang, Kamala, Kata, Katanoi, Coron, or even Patong, which is coming up, get involved in these green clubs and really throw some support at it. The beaches need cleaning almost on a daily basis. I do hope you've enjoyed this week's Going Green show. Do stay tuned. We've got the best of breakfast coming up now with Sam and Kirsty, followed by the Asian Pop 46 till 9 p.m. Saturday Night Fever this evening from 9 till midnight. Get your dancing shoes on and have a wild evening. Tomorrow in the morning, we've got an Asian Pop 40 repeat 9 till 12. Phuket News Radio also repeat from 3 to 4. And in the afternoon, we've got Mellow Moments with Andy Saunders, 4 to 6 p.m. Then a chill afternoon and a chill evening with Sunday Night Chill from 6 till 9 p.m. And then we've got full-time music taking us through till Monday morning. Well, yeah, enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy what's left of the sun this afternoon. Be careful the next couple of days. There is a storm warning out there, and indeed it is looking wet. You can buy this weekend's edition of the Phuket News in newsstands across the island, 20 baht. Do check out the green stories that are in it. And if you have a moment, please read the article by Kun Nok, where it says the environment starts at home, talking about sustainable consumption, energy efficiency, and waste minimization. And once again, a big thank you to all those who cleaned the beaches this last 2 days, and for those ongoing efforts by the Green Clubs. This was Nick Anthony and Deborah Miesak on the Going Green show. And our time is up for today. But we'll be back next Saturday from 2 till 4. You can follow me on Twitter at IndigoNick, or you can go to myseek.org, and there's a transcript of today's radio show, all the information about the green clubs, and all the information about the upcoming cleanups that will continue through the next couple of months. Thanks again for listening.